The city of Johnston, Pennsylvania is today a bustling metropolis filled with residents quietly getting on with their mundane lives. Nearby, the South Fork Dam lays glistening in the daylight sun. Today, most people do not have to worry about disasters in their lives. It never occurs to us that everything might be gone in the blink of an eye. This was not the case for the town of Johnston, and many do not truly know which the extent of the events of 1889 took their toll on the lives of its women, its children, its husbands, its wives, its sons, and its daughters. For the town's residents, it was a typical week in 1889. Life was simple, everyone was busy, and one thing out of the ordinary, though, was the horrendous rainfall that they'd been experiencing over the last few days. To put this into perspective, it averaged the amount of water that equaled the flow of the rate of the Mississippi River. The dam itself was deemed safe by residents and authorities alike, with engineer and dam designer William Morris serving as the primary source in the 1840s. This is peculiar, however, because there were repeated reports of the dam leaking, to which the response was to simply just cover up those holes with mud, straw, and other flimsy materials. According to research, the only person who seemed to take the claims that the dam was faulty seriously was the head of the Johnston Cambria Iron Works. Eventually, on the 31st of May 1889, after significant rainfall in the region between approximately 2 p.m. and 5:30 p.m, the dam's main structure gave way to a cascade of water. It was unleashed with such force that it uprooted trees, destroyed vegetation, and annihilated the town of South Fork, killing 3 residents. Other residents reported as they climbed to safety that they saw the water of the dam spilling over the peaks of the valley. It took approximately 65 minutes since the first collapse for the entire dam to drain. On its path of destruction down the hill, the flood was temporarily halted at Conemaugh Viaduct by the debris before the viaduct gave way and the flood continued on its path. The towns of Mineral Point and East Conemaugh were both hit next, killing around 16 people in the first town and up to 50 in the second, with 25 being injured. Now this was because there was a railway station in the second town. Onlookers remarked that they saw an entire train be derailed and carried down with the wave, and it looked like a series of hills upon hills of water. As it hit the city of Johnston, there was not much that citizens could do to survive. The wave was by now 60 feet high and travelling at a speed of around 40 miles per hour. Those who tried to escape could do very little, and whoever tried to escape got to high ground or were swept away with the wave. People who took refuge in houses were crushed by rubble, and all you could hear was the screams, apparently, as people were being killed by the rubble. Some were even swept further down and trapped in an inferno that had been caused by debris tapped against an old stone bridge further down the valley. The incident brought on by the South Fork Dam collapse resulted in the death of 2,209 people. Countless more were injured and many just weren't found. The damage to the area estimated at $17 million. The nation mourned the event, and assistance was provided by both foreign nations and every US state in an effort to bring some semblance of normalcy and order to the horrific draconian sights that the flood had left in its wake. In the subsequent investigation by the American Society of Civil Engineers, led by James B. Francis, was conducted through the eyewitness statements, topographical surveys, which is a map-related survey of the dam's remnants, and hydrological calculations. The ASCE concluded in their final report that the dam would have failed even if it had been maintained with the original design specifications, with a higher embankment crest and 5 large discharge pipes at the dam's base. This was challenged by the hydraulic analysis in 2016, which remarked that the dam would have succeeded, but additions and changes made by the South Fork Fishing and Hunting Club greatly weakened the dam's integrity and its ability to stand against storms. In the later years, survivors of the accidents blamed the South Fork Hunting Club for the modifications to the dam, which in their eyes caused the collapse. However, Knox and Reed, both lawyers hired by the club and the members of the club, would claim that the accident was simply an act of God, just a pure accident. The club was never found guilty on any sort of charge, and my research shows that no one was convicted, or at least that's what I can find. Survivors were given no compensation, though notable members of the club would aid in rebuilding the town, such as Andrew Carnegie, building the Newtown Library. Popular feelings ran high for this, and you can see this in Isaac G. Reed's poem. Many thousand human lives, butchered husbands, slaughtered wives, mangled daughters, bleeding sons, hosts of martyred little ones, worse than Herod's awful crime, sent to heaven before their time, lovers burnt and sweethearts drowned, darlings lost but never found, all the horrors that hell could wish, such was the price that paid for fish. After the accident, new legislation was put in place to keep the USA's dams safe and to ensure something like this would never happen again, but ultimately we know it did, again and again, though hopefully we'll never have to watch this kind of thing ever happen again through the eyes of incompetence. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and thank you for watching.